Check, check. All right. What's poppin', y'all? Oh, check, check. All right. Yo, what's poppin'? Start in a few minutes. Ah, Merry Christmas to you, sir. You too, sir. What's up, Shader? What's poppin', gamers? What's poppin'? Hey, what's up, Joel? It's called Tourniquet by Evanescence. It is a banger. It is an absolute banger. Oh, well, welcome. Thank you. Yeah. Usually I stream around let me turn down. Yeah, we're gonna go very low music. Usually I stream around like 6 or 7 PST, so recommend a good Discord server. Try to get into 3D modeling. Go to the official 3D modeling Discord. Try that one. Miss Glasses, thank you, thank you. Love your tutorial. Oh, thank you, I appreciate it, man. Thank you to Shader for supplying the. Oh, look, you got the link on there too. The what's this thing called? Pure Ref. I appreciate it, brew. Yo, what's up, dude? All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Um, so we have 8 submissions this time. This is pretty wild, guys. This is pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie. These are. I was looking through the submissions and I was like, dude, these are. Oh man, it's gonna be a hard one. It is going to be a hard one, but we're gonna start uh, in the order that they were submitted. We're gonna start. I am going to toss this blanket real quick. Thank you, Nick, for the follow. Appreciate it. What's up, Asgard? How you doing? Pineapple. All right, let's go ahead and start. Thank you for the follow, Joel. I appreciate it. Stream looks good. All right, cool. All right, we're gonna start with Mr. Matthew Kaza. Go ahead and drop a new fill layer in here. Or whatever. No. I'm so like brain rotted from Painter. Everything's just a fill layer. Okay. How many tries are you at? Pull up your thing. 7394. 7394. Okay. Oh, that's a pretty good. That's a pretty good number. Let's see how the model looks. I'm gonna be honest. All the models that were submitted, I don't see many inaccuracies. So that was like pretty good. So I think overall, I think judging the model is gonna be pretty easy. Um, so this is the official reference that I posted, right? Announcements. This was the official one that I posted. Official. I butchered. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the support. Appreciate it. Glad you find it useful. All right, so this is what we're gonna be kind of judging it on. Well, not kind of. We are going to be judging it on. And right off the bat, I can kind of see we kind of lack the detail here, where it swoops down and kind of I think overall this shape up here should be a bit more organic. It looks like just a box that's filleted on each end. Filleted, however you prefer to pronounce it. It feels weird saying fillet because I talk about like filet of fish. Like, so I just say, or yeah, I just say fillet. But looks like the shapes up here aren't really matching the reference that great. Yeah, even on some of these references, you can kind of see it swoops down a lot more, and I don't really think we have much of this face right here. Some of them you see a bit of this face, but yeah, overall I think this needs to be beveled a bit more. When will be next challenge? Soon. We'll use soon. Probably sometime next year. Next year, whoa. As far as model goes, I think this screw feels a bit. I think there's a little more to this screw that needs to go around, but I think that's not too big of a deal. Look at the metal ring. Okay, so this metal ring, you have just a simple circle, like, thing, and I don't think that's quite right. A lot of these old ones it is, but I guess maybe we followed a different reference, but I think this one would have been a bit better to follow because it's a bit more interesting than just a ring. You can do more bending and stuff to it. I think proportionally, I think it needs to. This part down here feels a bit too big. I think it needs to come. Oops, what did I? The wrong tab, like Control Z. I think this part needs to come down and swoop in a tiny bit more. Let's see. I think overall it's feeling really sharp. Also, I noticed one thing with this one. See which render I can see it the best in. Probably this one. I don't know what it is, but I can see your hard edges. Like almost feels kind of like a normal map thing going on. First I thought maybe your normals were flipped, but I'm not too sure. The point of this one was to really get this soft edge in there and then really kind of either sculpt on top of it or like texture some of this detail into it. And yeah, so I think that is kind of a bit strange. Maybe the normals are flipped, I'm not too sure, but yeah, normals. Let me talk about, let's go to yours. All over the place today. All right. The low poly looks pretty good, honestly. I don't really have much for the low poly. Pretty good, and it's under tri count. Pretty solid. For this, you could since this thing is so soft, I would probably just chamfer, add a 2-edge bevel to this one, and then also I think you could. Document's so large. Possibly round these out a little more. You have like. Oh, I'm also seeing you have 3 segments here, which in reality I'd probably want to see like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just double it, honestly. That'll add probably a few hundred tries, but like a low poly without a normal map. Now, there's definitely something going on, but we'll see. Yeah, I think overall you could have added more tries to it. I think that would have helped. Like up here, since you're so far like below my estimation, you could probably just bumped it up a bit more. Down here, especially, I can see it. It's almost interacting, like messing with your textures a little bit. I don't know if this is a shading error from the high poly, but yeah, I think you could have bumped up the segment count here and make your high poly a bit softer. Actually, quite a bit softer. All right. Yeah, like these hard edges shouldn't really be visible. I'm not really sure where those are coming from. So now so we got that. Let's talk about the UVs. For something like this, let's look like a Nike swoosh. You could probably just break it or straighten it along like this edge here. I would probably do that because now you have this really long pixely edge right here. That'll show up in the bakes. It's super tight padding right here. You just move this shell like 2 inches over there. Same here, just spread these out more. You could probably even just scale them up to fill this area. Same here, you could probably just scale that up. Yeah, it seems like there's like a bit of auto packing. Some of these, if you are baking at like a really low resolution, you're gonna get like this nasty artifact that goes along here. Even when you're texturing, you might even see it, but you'll get like, yeah, just a nasty artifact from the padding here. It just doesn't have enough res to do it. This is an interesting way to topologize it. However, I would either A, collapse it down to a single vert, which will add to the try count, but I think it's cleaner that way. But you could, what I think is better is to just go across like this. I think that's, ultimately, I think that's kind of cleaner, but there really is no like, this way I think will lead to more bake errors, I think, because you're getting into like long, skinny triangle areas, so yeah, just a lot of really tight padding all around. Um, Overall, you use the whole sheet, which is pretty good. So good, decent UVs. All right. Let's move on to the textures. Um, so one thing I noticed is that you went too hard on the yellow here. It kind of looks like yellow metal. I don't know. It's supposed to be like a brass, but you've just got kind of like a Hollywood gold yellow bar. You know, when they open up the briefcase and it's like a giant yellow gold. You know, but I think yeah, the yellow needs to be color matched a bit better. This render is really cool, by the way. I like the orange background. It's pretty cool. Um, Let me get a better shot of the blue. Okay, so overall, I think what you did was you took some sort of a. Why are we loading? First, we're loading. You took like a. This looks like Perlin noise in here. Like I feel like this is the 3D Perlin noise, and I think you slapped it on everything. So like up here, on here, on the spoon, even maybe a little bit on the um the ring, I think, and that's not super ideal because we want to make sure that this material looks different than this material. So, and that you can do that in every single channel, in the height channel, the diffuse, gloss, everything. You can do that in every channel. And I don't really think we're getting like this material looks like it's the same here, which isn't that great. I think overall you're kind of missing some of these like larger divots in here. And these are probably going to be hand painted or stenciled on. So I think overall, I think I'd like to see more work done in the height. The knurling down here doesn't really feel like it's. I almost feel like you forgot to put the normal map on down here. I'm not really seeing a lot of like bump, you know, like maybe it's the lighting, but I'm not seeing height in the. Yeah, so maybe just punch it out more. I think you did a pretty good job on the text. It looks a bit grainy and kind of low res. I feel like you maybe used like a sharpen filter with like a warp, maybe. I think you could have done a bit more, maybe like some more stuff to kind of blend in the text, like on the border. Um, but also this yellow is blown out here. You gotta be careful doing super bright yellow. Your lighting is like totally blowing it out. Yeah, and overall, I just think we're not really. I'd like to see your like metallic channel or spec channel because I don't think we're like totally PBR correct because you're getting like super dark black here, which is not really ideal because we're losing all this information here. It's just so dark. I like the paint. The paint text is cool. You could probably like blend it in a bit more. I feel like it's kind of like pure white in the middle. You might want to like maybe add some more wear to it since this thing is super beat up. Um, I think overall the metal is just not really doing it for me. I do like this like brown like diffuse stuff you got going on in here. Your color stuff. Pretty nice. Overall, I think you went a bit too glossy as well. You can tell from the highlight that this thing is like a bit too glossy, I think. This render right here is cool. It's unfortunately probably just a bit too dark, I think. If you could find a way to lighten up pretty much all of these right here, I think that'd be great. Um, yeah, and the blue version doesn't really feel too different from the black version, which is kind of something that I was looking for. I was looking for the blue versions to be like a totally different like approach to doing the black painted version. Yeah, this render here is just too dark. We're losing all this information here. So, background looks cool. It's a nice like setup you got here, but I think this one's probably your best render. Um, uh, ching, cash money right here. I think this is probably your best render, like lighting wise, but I think setup wise, I think this is the coolest one. Overall, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I think just a bit more work in the high poly and some more work in the textures, and I think you'll be good. The low poly is pretty solid. You can probably just increase that around a bit, add a few more tries, and go for it. I think this would be a really good one. Good job. Good job. I'm gonna move on to number 2. All right, this one is from Dima. This one is pretty sweet. How many tries are we at? We're pretty high. We're at 13K, 13.5K tries. That's pretty cool. This one, the KFC render is very funny. This is awesome. Got 3 spice levels. Oh, my layer is like 3 spice levels. Love it. This is so. This is great. I love that. All right, let's look at the low poly. Dude, items. Photoshop, please. I love that you modeled in this chip right here. That's pretty sweet. I don't think this edge right here is necessary. I think that's you're doing something that I don't know of, but not too sure. Also, I see you have 3 edges in here. This isn't really a silhouette breaking curve. Like it's not. You're not going to see this curve. You could lower this to probably just 2, so it would make a chamfer. It is also a bit strange that you have 3 edges here, but only 1 edge on this major silhouette break. I think could have probably just moved one of these edges over to here. I think that would have been distributing a bit better. Looks like this piece down here is just quite high compared to some parts of the model. Let's see, what else do I see? This ring is pretty low. Do we see that in the renders? Yeah, we see that in the renders a bit. Really? Yeah, if you really look at it, you can see kind of the segmenting in the ring, the pin there. Thank you for the follow, Phoenix. I appreciate it. Good call. Thank you, Com, for the follow. But overall, you modeled in the damage, which is super cool. I think that's pretty awesome. Yeah, overall in the low poly, I think just some distribution could have been done a bit better. Like I like the roundness of the ring itself, but I think you could have added a couple more in there. And then overall pretty solid. I don't really see anything that I would change. Maybe just reduce the density there too. Go ahead and move on to UVs. I'll see if I notice anything later. Oh yeah. Pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't got a bit of unused space up here with that shell. Bit of unused space there. That's not a big deal. Sweet. These are good UVs. Ching. Looks like you broke these all up into individual shells, which is interesting. I know some people went and did it all in one shell, which is not sure if there is a right or a wrong way to do it, honestly. You could go either way, I think. Because the angle is pretty harsh, but it's also soft enough to, I think, if you just keep it as quads, you should get a clean bake. But honestly, you could go either way. I don't really mind. Yeah, just that edge right there. This edge right here is probably useless. I don't think it's... Let's look at the textures. This one is pretty awesome. I love this detail you got going around here. It's super cool. This DOF shot is absolutely amazing. I love it. Not sure if I could see like a hard edge there or something. Overall, I think you went pretty gray with it, which I think is pretty cool. I'd like to see it toned down to like more black, a darker black, I think. It looks like you matched this reference pretty well. You got the damage in there. Crispy, yeah, dude, this one's really awesome. I love this one. I can see a very subtle material separation here. Like that, I think. Oh, this thing. I'm not really a fan of how this part was done. Do we have a close up of that somewhere? Not really. Not really a fan of it. Looks very noisy and like you kind of put a sharpened filter on it. I think I would have liked to see a bit more less sharpened filter, maybe just either scale up. If you don't have enough res, then just scale it up, you know? So overall, I think it just kind of feels like noise. I see you got the radial brushing in there, but I think it's just kind of noisy. Which I don't think it needs to be. I don't think it needs to be that noisy. This stuff is great. Really good attention to detail in the scratches here. The pitting feels great. Looks great. Like I feel like I can reach out and touch my monitor. Thank you, Shokri, for the follow and comment. You already called comment. So on damage like this, I think I would have supported it a bit more with like some painter damage, because right now I know exactly how you did this. So I think go just add a bit more grain, because like you don't just get a perfect dent. It's like always a little chipped here and there. You know, they would have added a bit more of that. Yeah, this thing is awesome. I don't want to steal one of these models and texture it on stream. That'd be super. These things super fun to texture. A really awesome job. I think some of these dents could be a bit better. Like you can see some of the variation. Like right now, it just feels like it's all in the height. I think you could have added some more like scratches. You can see it's like I don't know if there's like metal wear or something coming down here. You could have added a bit more of that. Yeah, a bit more variation, so it's not all reading is just gray. Like a bit more cool damage to it, I think would have been great. Um, this render's cool. I feel like you're overexposing it a little bit. It's like kind of gray, kind of washed out right there. AFC render, that's the money shot right there. That's so funny. I love that. This, this one's pretty awesome too. I like really nice stuff. Where are you getting this stuff? It's like these props, man. They're so cool. Yeah, man, this is awesome. This is really great. These are all portfolio pieces, dude. I looked at all the submissions, dude. You can post them all in your portfolio. Ooh, 50 viewers, dude. What the hell? That's like a viewership record. Welcome, everyone. There's a lot of new people. I think the blue is cool. Um, it doesn't really do much for me. More renders of the blue. These are all we got. I would have liked to see a couple more renders of the blue, by the way. I think something about the blue just doesn't really feel right. It feels kind of almost a little bit too desaturated, almost. I know I only attached this reference, so you could have found another one online, but I would have think the blue. Some of these like rust spots could be pretty cool. I don't really see that. Hmm. I'm not really sure what it is, but the blue just isn't really singing to me like the gray version is. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think Zost got it. It doesn't really read like paint. It kind of just reads like blue metal. I can see that you have the chipping away of the blue, but like I would like to see some more paint globbing. Some like it was like really rapidly because I don't know who paints dummy grenades, but probably not an artist, so they're just slapping paint all over. I think maybe a bit more work in the height a bit. Yeah. Also, it's a bit hard to judge with just one, like 1 and 2 renders, but yeah, the blue just feels kind of flat compared to the black. I think you have all this cool like color variation and rusts and stuff, and it's kind of missing from the blue. I think you could have added a bit more of that. Like definitely like painting in here, paint would get like chipped up and like not. I guess if you're using like I don't know how they paint these things, but if you're using like a big paintbrush, it would definitely like the brush would not go in there very easily, So maybe that could be a cool idea to add, just to kind of break up the blue a bit more. Overall, very solid. Overall, very solid. Uh, yeah, cool stuff. Really nice. Oh, I didn't. Text down here is pretty nice as well, but again, it's just kind of grainy and a little bit like overly sharpened. I think. I don't know how to describe? You also have this like curvature thing going on. And kind of, I think you could have broken that up a bit more. Yeah, man, this like DOF right here is like, ooh. Yeah, man, this. If you change up this piece, this screw a bit more, dude, I think this is like the money shot right there. That's so awesome. I like I don't know if this detailing is accurate here, but I like it. So, very cool. Cool. All right, I think I'll move on. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing good. Good. All right, next up is Entity. And this one is absolutely incredible. Uh, I'm just gonna say it. I don't have any feedback. Like I'm not gonna lie. I have no feedback. This thing is absolutely like I saw this and I was like, dude, you did such an amazing job on this one. Um, UVs are fine. Yeah, nothing wrong there. Low poly. Looks like you like put in some like damage into the low poly, which is super nice. Um, we might see some segmenting there. How many try? Oh, let me look at your entity. Let's 14K tries. Where did all those tries go? This is where they went. To the nice metal ring that has nice damage to it. I love it. I don't think these tries are necessary. This edges there are necessary. I could be wrong. Um, yeah, dude, this thing is outstanding. Yeah. Love that you put a chamfer across the top. Yeah, this is so nice. I love that you put that chamfer there. Very nice. It's a bit high on the try count, but overall, I think it was kind of worth it. But oh my god, this is like, I'm gonna be honest, this is some of the best textures I've ever seen in my life. This is like, I mean, the lighting. I mean, I'm like, this is like awesome. I mean, this. We've got like this metal little crack in here. Like, this renderer is freaking awesome. The blue is so much fun. Like, it's so good. It's so awesome to look at. You have all this like paint globbing stuff, which is so like, it's just so cool. It's so, you got paint leaking down onto the brass. Like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Damn layer. This looks so good. Yeah. Good bomb. I'd definitely throw it. That's a good comment there, Lil Child support. That's a great comment. Man, you switched up the material on this to make it a metal. You got the M in there. The M feels a little low res, I think, but it could be fixed. Awesome, dude. Here, wait. Something's not right here. This image should not be here. This was the low poly we just looked at, wasn't it? Okay, that was. Let me just make sure. Okay, hold on. Yeah, that was Dima's low poly. Okay, scratch that. Oops, sorry. A lot of images. Um, I don't know if this was done intentionally, but the flow is like off here. This is like absolutely insane. Yeah, this one's nuts. Adrian Ruslo, yeah, yeah. Yeah, thank you, dude. Thank you for this submission. It's awesome. Absolutely, like this should be on your portfolio already. Like this thing is just. I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't really have much feedback. I got nothing, dude. I mean, like this doesn't even look CG. Like it just. Like I would have used this as reference had I found it. Like this is. The brass looks cool. You have a view. You have a picture of that. I would love to see a render of showing that off. I'd like to see that. Jason Bourne. Yeah, this is nuts. I just like this is game art, bro. This is game art. Like making things that are just like this reference is boring, so like look, hold my beer while I just do like insane work. Like this is inspiring me to make my own one of these. All right, I'll stop. But I have no feedback, dude. This thing is just, oh my gosh. Yeah, this thing's awesome. You guys got anything? Hey, you guys got any feedback? Because I have absolutely nothing. While I fill up my water. Where's the money shot? Oh, money shot. Let's do it. This render is freaking sweet. This one right here. Oh, dude, this is like. This one's really cool, but I like this one because I can just see more of the textures. Like this. Ching. This thing is just awesome. Born Jason. That is wild that we have Jason Bourne in the chat. Welcome Jason Bourne. Everyone welcome Jason Bourne to the chat. So good. All right. I'm going to move on. But dude, awesome. Okay. Next we have Alex TS. I did not pick the order of these, so these are in the order that they were submitted. Okay, cool. Oh shit. Cable on my desk. 6K tries, that's pretty good. See where your tries went. You know, this is really nice up here. You got this like skull sculpted in damage like modeled into the low poly, which is really nice. This one is just absolutely, the low poly here is great. I like this. Simple, nicely done modeling in and damage and stuff. Yeah, the point of this one was to, like Bob Ross would say, beat the devil out of it. R.I.P. Yeah, low poly looks great, dude. It's weird how like the last one was 14K tries, and this one's 6K tries. I can see that some of the details here could probably be rounded out a bit. You have this like really round, this really rounded base, like a lot of segments, but I think I would have liked to see it that up here too. It definitely added a bit more there. And then see how it looks. This is really good. That's what I was talking about, dude. Like these are like really good. Like I don't got much to say. Maybe it's the lighting, but I think you could have gone a bit darker with the black. Also, some of this wear here feels really small compared to what we're seeing on the reference here. Yeah, a lot of this wear just kind of feels a bit too small, I think. Like it's super micro detailed. It looks like stock footage. It does look like. It looks like some Forgotten Weapons B-roll footage. Yeah. I think overall I can see you're got this kind of dirt buildup going on. I think I would have liked to see more breakup in it because I can kind of the same here. It's kind of the same here. A bit more breakup there. A bit, maybe a bit more like wear on the metal here. Like maybe not gloss, but like not sure what you're in, spec gloss or metal rough, but like some metallic wear on it. It feels almost too clean for something that has like this much dirt caked into it, you know. This rusted pin is really cool. I like that. Cool. Yeah, you can see the low poly sculpted. The chamfer you added in the low poly is really helping out here. Really nice. I think you could maybe add a bit more segments. Like right here, I can see a harsh fall off right there. Overall, I think maybe some more breakup of this like rust material. And again, kind of this. Oh shit! What did I press? Some of this some of this like really micro height detail. I think you could scale up and have some like more larger areas. We're kind of in the micro detail realm. We don't have a whole lot of like macro stuff to look at, I think. You got the defect crack in there too. That's really cool. I like that. Really nice. Maybe not a defect, but that's where it's like glued together, you know. Really cool. I think overall I'd like to see just more larger areas of wear and more larger pitting. I don't know if you're using like a fill layer for this, but if you literally just like scale it up, I think that'll be like ideal. Also, yeah, the dirt looks pretty uniform throughout. You can see it's all here, 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 here. Yeah, so I think just a bit more dirt breakup. Maybe some of this reddish stuff. It's a bit red. You could get some of that in here. A bit, just some like reddish hues. That'd be pretty cool. The knurling down here doesn't look quite right, I don't think. Oh, there's different knurling. Something about the knurling is just not quite right. Not really sure what it is. Oh, you know what it is? You have these like diamonds protruding outwards. I think it's supposed to be like almost flat diamonds. Like you have the pyramid effect here. I think it's supposed to be just like a flat diamond with a cutout in between it, if that makes sense. A flat diamond here. I think that's what it's supposed to be a bit more like. Ooh. This is pretty sweet. This is cool. One thing I'll point out is all of your edgeware, it's either there or it's not. There, not. There. Not. There's no like real like soft scraping. It's kind of just like you took the blue fill layer, added a subtract layer, and then used like use the jerry can or stencil or something. Kind of painted out these shapes. I would like to see a bit more blended in stuff, like some scraping, some areas where the paint didn't fully chip off and it's like a little bit lighter. Yeah. The blue like dipped paint look looks pretty sweet, or orange dipped paint looks sweet. Kind of the same thing. The paint is either there or it's not. You know, would like to see a bit more soft up. But you got the drips in there. That's really nice. That's really cool detail. Really good stuff. Also see this like yellow dust in here. I would probably just toss that. Yeah, the yellow dust is really selling me there. It does look like you changed up the normals, the height, which is pretty good. Like it's definitely different than what you have up here. Yeah, so that is very nice. You put a lot of effort into the blue paint, which I think is really. Yeah, something about the knurling just still doesn't feel quite right. But sculpted or modeling in the damage there is pretty cool. Very nice detail. I think we ever took a look at the UVs. UVs are good to go. Although this El Camino outside isn't really like ideal way to topologize an N-gon or a giant. You know what I mean? But you'll get like some pretty like skinny tries here, but you are baking on something that's flat, so I guess it's low poly. One thing I will say, you have the nice segments here, and then it looks like you're collapsing every edge here. I wouldn't do that because let's look. Let's actually look. Oh, I didn't see this render. This render looks really nice. Yeah, this is nice. You got the like blue oxidation stuff. Hex is really well done. Very nice. Really nice. This is awesome down here. But one thing I will say is I can see your segmenting. It's subtle, but I can see it. It's right there. I would have just probably. Where I count at? Oh shit! I moved on too quickly. I'm sorry. You're at 6K tries. Oh, it's right there. I would have just carried each edge down. This is a technique that you can use to optimize stuff, but it might just lead to kind of unclean bakes and just not really any a huge benefit. Like collapsing that, you're gonna gain like what, like 50 triangles maybe. Don't see a whole lot of benefit there. I like this like radial effect you got going on. Yeah. And then this effect is also very well done. Looks like all the submissions have this really nice brushing. Really well done. Maybe a couple more renders of the blue would be nice. I think overall, I think this is your best render. Like if you showed this to like someone, just like a random person on the street, they'd probably think this was like a photo. They would fully believe that this is a photo. This one's good. This one's very good. I think it's like your second best. I like this one, but the rusted metal just feels a bit kind of almost. It feels kind of boring. I think you could do a bit more there. Yeah, this one's really great. All right, good stuff. Let's continue. Am I forgetting anything? I feel like I'm forgetting something. I think so. Very nice. This one is from Cash. Mr. Cash Money. Oh, I thought this said 12 million, like 12 billion. You're at 12K tries. All right. Right on the money. So you went ahead and put each of these as an individual UV island. That's cool. Probably lower some of the density there. How do people triangulate the low poly? Well, game engines are in triangles. So when you import a model into a game engine, it is always triangulated. Just how the math works out. So, and then when you're baking, it's typically a pretty good practice to bake your model when it's triangulated, so that there's no difference between the triangulation in like Marmoset versus Unreal Engine. And then if it's triangulated differently, then you'll get some errors in the normal map. These edges can go. All these don't need. Same here. Those can all go. You could collapse every other edge here. This isn't like a silhouette. You won't see this roundness as a silhouette. There's I think I would say collapse this down to two edges per pineapple here. Oh, you baked this down all into one. Oh, shit. Pressing Alt. Yeah, there we go. This is a bit weird. You have this nice three-segmented curve coming to a point where this isn't a silhouette curve, like a silhouette breaking curve, and then it comes up to this really harsh silhouette where there's 1, 2, 3, 4 segments, where here there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have 1, 2, 5 going like across here, even though this isn't a silhouette. Like you could get away with 3 edges here, 1, 2, and 3. You could get away with that, and then chamfer this edge up here. I would do that. Yeah. This edge right here, I don't think is necessary. Yeah, there's a lot of unnecessary edges here. One thing is you got to remember poly densities. Do we have better? Here we go. So this piece right here is super nice and round, very dense, But this piece right here only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across. Or 6 going around it, and we can see that. Like, we can very clearly see the silhouette of it. But, like, this is a much more important piece than this because of its size, right? How much space it takes up on screen. So, you could, honestly, if you swapped these two densities out, it'd be much better. However, now this would be almost like 2,000 tries, which is a bit of a bit high or something. Not sure what's going on here. You got an error going on here. I would just toss this middle edge here. Yeah, a bit of strange stuff in the low poly. A couple of decisions that I don't think I would have made. Like, you could definitely get away with collapsing one of these and let the bake handle that. Let the bake do let the bake do all the magic there. These are unnecessary. I'm not really sure why you're adding some of these unnecessary edges, like this point right here. Just weld it down. Just collapse every other edge right here. See, no difference. Got this like chamfer here on a non-silhouette breaking area, whereas I'd rather see that added to this. Right count. This edge is useless. Let's look at the UVs. Pretty decent UVs. It's kind of the running into the padding situation that we had earlier on the other model. Super tight packing. I can almost kind of feels like it's been auto packed, which is fine as like a start, but man, I can't even see the UV borders. If you baked this thing at like 1K, you're gonna see some padding errors. Sure. Yeah, that's tight, really tight padding. It's decent though. I would just maybe increase the padding and then see where you get from there. Go ahead and look at the textures. I want to see how this looks. Yeah, unfortunately this is like a really prominent area that I think should have been modeled in. We're also kind of missing this curve right here. It's supposed to be this thing is supposed to be very soft. That's kind of the point of this thing, is why I chose this thing, is it's going to be very soft and a bit really organic to do. And I'm seeing really sharp edges. Whereas even if you look at this, you can almost see a subtle curve right here. So be careful with that. Overall, I can tell that you're putting the same material on this piece and this piece, this piece. This piece is blown out, by the way. And so is this piece right here. Here. This piece has like a weird seam right here. I'm not sure if that's really accurate. Also, you've got this inside modeled here. I'm pretty sure you went a bit over on the tries there. Probably too. I can see you're trying to do this striping. I don't know what to call it. Brushing detail. But it's kind of all over the place. It's here, it's right here, but it's like here too. It doesn't really feel natural. I'm not really sure how to describe it. It just doesn't quite feel right. Oh man, this reference is sweet. Very nice reference. I've certainly seen it. And then the spoon shouldn't be a silver metal. I don't think it's. I don't think there is a reference where it's a silver metal like that. Even in here, a lot of these parts are just not correct as comes to the reference. Also, I realize this thing's green. I didn't realize. But yeah, you went the green route, which is interesting. I unfortunately don't have any reference for green on here. Let me look at. Make sure you get the swoop in there. Yeah, you can really see it's a bit strange here. The curve comes to a point right here and then goes up and over like that. I just don't agree with that decision. This part feels unnatural. I'm not really sure what's going on there. It's I like that detail. I think overall, like the practicing like modeling imperfection, I think was kind of the big part of this one. The proportions on these pieces I don't think are correct. That's really long. Also, these I think the accuracy is a little off. These curves don't feel quite right. Don't feel quite right. Maybe I just have a bad reference. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. You're fine. Alt clicking down. I think you're fine there. I think that's fine. But yeah, proportionally, I don't think these pineapple parts line up a bit. One thing you're missing on this render is AO. So it feels really CG and kind of fake. I will say your textures, you've got like this kind of rainbow effect going on. Not really sure how well that's working. You're kind of lacking the height details that were. Oh, I see the nice like steel line there. That's cool. Kind of missing the pitting that we've got going on. Your edges are much too perfect. This thing is supposed to be very old, very beat up. Your edges are much too perfect. Overall, it's like a bit too glossy. Not a whole lot going on in the gloss. I think the metal feels a bit basic, and I think this part is modeled incorrectly. I don't think this is right. It's supposed to like swoop down into this. Right now, you have it like this. To swoop down a little bit. I like the brushing just kind of applied loosely. Then here it's like straight. Here it's. I see you're trying to add variation, but it's not really working. You have any your segments there? Probably could add a bit more there. I think your lighting here isn't helping you because this metal doesn't really feel like a PBR correct metal here, but here it feels PBR correct. Maybe not even that. Oh, it's a bit too saturated, I think. The text is cool. I know you slapped a warp filter or a blur slope on it, so it's like almost too imperfect. Like the 6 is like that. Like it's supposed to be something more, a little bit more perfect. Yeah, it looks like kind of the same sort of wavy wear all around. Yeah, go softer on the low on the high poly. Look at the blue version. The height feels a bit cheesy here. Let's see. I think I would have liked to see this as red. I'm not really digging this color you chose here. And then you kind of went with like a sky blue, which is cool. But the client wanted a bit more dark blue saturated. Something a bit more like this, I think. Yeah. Yeah, overall, I think some more material. I think I would go back to the I'd say the biggest thing that needs work on this one is the textures. The model is pretty good. You're baking a high poly, that's good. I think the textures need It's just the most work, I think. Also, you don't really have much going on in here. It just kind of feels like you put a base filler, some noise, text, warp. That was it. There's no like colors. I can kind of see you got some dirt. Whoa. But it's not really visible. I don't know. A lot of this yellow paint. Yellow paint's a cool idea. I'd probably scale it up. You have to remember the scale of these things. These things are like. Fortunately, I don't have a grenade on my desk, but these things are super small, right? So, like, they fit in your hand. Think of how many things can scratch this thing that are this small. Not like, are you scratching it with like the tip of a knife or something? But like, no, if you drop this thing, you're dropping it on a rock and it's gonna scrape. It's probably gonna be like this big. You probably have some up here, if that makes sense. So overall, pretty good. I think you have a bit of stuff to work on. Nice job hitting the try count. Overall, a good job. Good job overall. Also, your pin feels like it's floating. It's like not sitting. Maybe it's not. Okay, never mind. Screw that. Yeah, good job. Let's move on. All right, this is Asgard. Woo! This one is pretty awesome. Before we get ahead of ourselves, let's look at the low poly. Nicely done, nicely done. Got the kind of subtle curve. Oh, got the subtle curve in there. Oh, we shouldn't drop live grenades. Shit happens. Also, grenade isn't live until you pull the pin. And the spoon comes off, which it's a pretty hard thing to do. I've pulled pins on. We used to buy. Sorry, side note, but me and my friend, we were little rascals. We would go to the airsoft store and we'd buy military grade smoke grenades, but they're not like military, but they're just like civilian, and we'd like pull them and throw them in the backyard. Entire like a whole red cloud of smoke would pop up. Surprised don't call the cops, but it was dumb. It was stupid. It was one of the stupider things, but it was so much fun. And it is hard to pull those pins, let me tell you. Try to do it with our teeth, like Rambo's type stuff. Let's look. Probably just go to 3 edges here. Yeah, reduce this to 3 edges and then chamfer these edges right here. Bird outside. Stopped raining. There was like lightning earlier. Lose the symmetry line here. Lose that line. Lose this line too. Nice job quad capping here. This is the certified Cohen-Brawley method. Let's see. The textures just yet. Yeah. Not a whole lot of problems. A nice density here. That's a lot of tries. The density here is fine. Yeah, if you lose this midline, you'll lose like 100 tries, I promise you. Nice job chamfering that. You chamfered this edge, but I think you should have chamfered this edge too. Okay, let's look at the textures. Man, this thing's awesome. I think the thing that stands out to me the most is this like height stuff doesn't really feel right. Honestly, I would just go to this layer that you have these like height divots in, just turn it off. Just turn off the height. Set the height to 0. That'd be so much better, I think. And then just have this rust stuff be in the color. And maybe lower the gloss of this thing. It's a bit too shiny compared to the absolute damage that this thing is going through. Man, this is awesome. You really paid really close attention to the divots in the reference. I think the rust feels a bit splotchy. Not sure how to describe it, but it feels like you took a spray paint brush and kind of spray painted rust in. That's what it looks like to me. Be careful with this uniform dirt generator going around. I like this like weld brush you have going on in here. I'm not sure if it's like accurate to a reference or something, but it looks really cool. I like it. Cool. Really good. I like the blue paint you got here. It's a nice touch to help add the visual interest element. The model looks very accurate. Looks great. Maybe this lip is too big, maybe? Probably not. Something about the knurling doesn't the knurling doesn't look quite right. I think you just I feel like you tried a bit too hard on the knurling. Let me tell you why. Because these gaps, I don't think I've ever seen knurling with this far away of gaps between these diamonds. You got the flat diamonds, which is nice, but you've got this super kind of really large gap. It just doesn't feel right. Something about it just doesn't quite feel right. Well, let's look at the UVs, sorry. UVs are perfect. I got nothing. Something about the knurling just isn't quite right. Just decrease this border here, and I think you'll be good. I think that'll be perfect. Let's take a look at both of them. The knurling, yeah, it's like not uniform enough. It's pretty It's something that's pretty should be pretty uniform. Like spilled. Ooh, one thing I can see. I can see your butterfly effect going on here. That wasn't a very great decision. Um, yeah. Most of the time dealing with grenades, clients always want these to be unique. One face down. That's why you put the middle line in there. Okay. See, you did that, which is a good attempt. What you could have done instead is just symmetried these faces. And I'm sure you may have. But these faces on the inside here. That would have been much better. But this butterfly effect is it's such a like a prominent position that it just doesn't look great. I like the green metal you got here. That's pretty cool. Um, One thing I will say is that I don't see like much difference between the height in. I got a question. How to retain smoothing in Maya after I reimport? I'm not really too sure. How to retain smoothing in Maya? That's like a pretty specific question that I just don't really know the answer to. I'm sorry. That's maybe use FBX. I'm not really sure. Is that overlapped UVs or what? Yeah. So this person overlapped these two UVs down the middle, which is not. Oh my god. My monitor just went black. Oh, okay, we're back. That's so weird. My monitor went black. All right. Um, we're back. What was I saying? Yeah, the blue, like, you have some nice paint effects going on. I like that. I don't see. It's a tough one because I like the way the blue looks. I like the way it looks, but I feel like you could have done more to make it a bit more makeshift, painted, globby, you know? Because because right now it's pretty, honestly, it's pretty perfectly painted. Like, whoever painted this has an artistic ability at painting. You know. Thank you, Neos, for the follow. Appreciate it. Um, may have got a bit heavy-handed on the height here. Maybe not. I think to visually separate these two surfaces more, would have got a bit smoother on the spoon. The damage here is really nicely done. Almost like some of your edges are just a bit too perfect, I think. Feels a bit just too perfect. Take a look at this reference. You can really see how like there's rust here in these crevices, not here. I don't know why that is, but I think if you had kept done a bit more with this like almost dirt generator, I think it would have been a lot better. I think. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, just this height effect is just not really doing it for me. I would have done a bit more to separate these two materials a bit more from the base stuff. And the butterfly effect is just not great. If you could, before posting this to your portfolio, because this is absolutely, this thing is awesome, I would just rebake this. Just do it. Screw looks nice. Screw looks nice. It looks like some of these like marks. They bothers me how it's like doesn't curve around the shape. It's like that, and then here's like the big circle. Like, I'd kind of like it to match, just like visually. I don't know if it's like OCD, but like I would kind of like it to match that a little bit more. Yeah, this one's gonna be a really tough one. All right, it's a really good render. I feel like he caked a bit too much of this dirt, bit too much. I'd like to see more visual separation, like not maybe not separation. Still hard coming up with all these like art terms just on the fly. Just more variation, just something else here, something else there. This render's really cool. DMCA. I like this. Like rust is like almost kind of glowing in this one. A little strange. Cool render. Woo! Holy shit. Man, I don't know what it is about DOF that's just like so amazing, but yeah, this DOF is really nice. Yeah. Yeah, the details you have here is pretty cool. I do like, I think the height is almost a bit too strong to the point where you get this kind of like, eh, you could go either way. You could probably tone down the height maybe a tiny bit more. Either way, looks really great. Pretty good. This render's awesome. Really nice. Really nicely done. I don't know how you set up all this stuff, but it's cool. I like the how you have the faded out stamp there. Really nice. Cool, great. Cool. You maybe add a bit more of this dirt. Oh. Actually, the dirt feels a bit uniform, I think. But honestly, I don't have much to complain about. It still looks awesome. Really cool. I think the height down here feels a little blobby. Oh, Really? The height down here feels a bit blobby, I think. A lot of the people that have submitted had this like cool like stripe, and I see you got some of it here. I think I would have liked to see that a bit more. It feels a bit blobby and a bit. It looks cool though. Still looks pretty cool to look at. Um, if you work for a client, should you do this whole big menu? It depends on what your client wants. Yeah. Some clients want to see sculpted in damage. Some of them don't want to see that because of various reasons. There's a train coming. Some people just want to see it all done in Painter for, you know. Because also, if you sculpt in like damage in the bakes, you're glued to that damage, right? Um, but it all depends. It really does all. It all depends. Really nice weld line here. Looks super cool. Nice stuff going on there. This one's pretty awesome. What's the new? Oh, oh, we got a Blender viewport user. Okay. Let's see here. Make sure you update Windows, guys. Gotta do it. Make sure you update. 11K tries. That's really good. That's pretty good. Probably add a bit more down here. And then, yeah, you're going to get really skinny triangles right here. Probably chamfer here. Maybe just do like this instead. Oh, if it bakes, fine. Yeah, I've never seen a red update icon, dude. Microsoft hates you, dude. You know what I do? I bet you leave this thing running for like weeks at a time. Also, one thing, just rotate the bolt a little bit. Maybe you did for the, you do it. It's like perfectly 90 degrees. I would just rotate it like this. Rotate it. Okay, this. Whew. All right, let's look at the best render here. I like this one. I like this one a lot. I like this one. Very nice job. Very nice job. All right, we're gonna move on to Hex Insanity. I believe Hex Insanity won the last challenge. Second place, maybe. You sure? Look at the low poly. Birds flying near my window. Nothing standing out. One thing I will say is this should be a bit wider. Like, yeah, I think that should be a bit wider. I think maybe these pieces need to be a bit, tiny bit thicker, maybe, than a tiny. Well, maybe not. This is pretty dense. You could probably reduce it a tiny bit more. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Take a look at the UVWs. Bit hard to read. These are perfect. Yeah. Look at that. Ooh, nice. Nicely done. Ching! Those are perfect. Take a look at the black textures. Pretty awesome. Pretty great. The silver here, right immediately when I look at it, it's really uniform and really cloudy right here. I'm not really a fan of that. Pitting. Very nicely done. Let's see. Pitting is very nicely done. I like the reddish hue you got going on. Whole ass single line. Oh, is it a whole ass island? That is pretty bold, I'm not gonna lie, but you know what? It looks like it baked well. It's all in quads, it'll all bake well. Looks like it baked very nicely. I really like the pitting. This thing has very specific pitting going on. Yeah, this piece is too thin down here. I love the reddish hues, yeah. I think I would have gone a bit more towards black. Maybe a bit more glossy, I think. Um, maybe make this a bit of a darker gray matte metal, so it's like a bit rougher and like more dirty. I don't really know how to describe. Yeah, just more used, I'd say. Um, Not really sure what this version is, but if I'm being honest, I don't really like it. It's it almost feels like a incorrect PBR metal. I'm not really sure how to describe it, and I'm not really sure it's maybe another. Maybe you were following a reference like this. I can't really find a reference like that, but height is also different than what you have there, which is cool. Sure how to describe this one. It's almost it feels too cloudy. Like you got these big red splotches going around. Yeah, here the spoon feels really cloudy. The paint is pretty well done. It's nice blended in. I like that. I like that a lot. We can't really get a good view of the screw there. Screw here is pretty good. I like it. Uh, yeah, I like the screw. The screw's pretty good. Yeah, I don't really have many complaints about that. The brass down here is really nicely done. That's really nice. It's very nice. Slightly warped up and beat up, and then you've got a nice dirt in there. I like that a lot. Really nice micro detailing in there. You got that like welding line going. Really cool. Yeah, I think honestly, I think I would just toss this version to all together. And I would probably this stupid Photoshop. Just go with this version, and then maybe just do a bit more work on the spoon. Um, and all of this detail looks so great. I love this little detail. This thing looks awesome. Take a look at the blue. And the blue is good because it looks like it was painted on, and I like it. You got the different chipping levels of chipping in the paint. That's awesome. Love that. You changed this up, which is a cool thing to do. I'm not sure how accurate that is to the reference. Not really sure how accurate it is, but I can appreciate, changing up the silver to or the brass to a silver and then the stripes. I can appreciate that. The text is really nicely done. Nice soft blended in. Like it. I like it a lot. I see you change this to silver as well. That's pretty cool. Honestly, I would have probably left this as brass. It would add a bit more like color contrast from blue to gray. There's not a whole lot of contrast between those. Like blue to brass would be a pretty good contrast. One thing I will say about this text is to just remember the scale at which you're painting. These things are to paint this, you would need like a very fine paintbrush. I mean, I would honestly, it's a cool detail. I'd be able to like paint it somewhere here on the side and do like that might be a bit weird just right there, but The scale here feels really small for how small this thing really is. Yeah, I think just maybe a bit more work. It just feels too cloudy, I think. Like just some general noise fillers turned into roughness details, albedo details, and um, all that. We'll say the blue has some very nice detailing on it. 1812. Cool. Probably would just scale them up a tiny bit more. I like the red paint on this spoon. Although I'd like to see it as the same color as this, because I imagine I task someone to paint this grenade. Like here's blue paint, here's red paint. Paint it. And this almost looks like two different types of paint. I would have just gone with the same color. I've probably gone with this orange. I like the orange. Really cool. Really nice, like like dirt detailing and stuff. Really cool. Sorry if you can hear the garbage truck outside. Apparently Thursday's trash day around here. But I hear them every day, so it's like I like how you got like some blue, almost like wait. Oh, never mind. You painted the spoon blue, so of course it's gonna be blue. I think maybe just some more material separation between some of these parts. Like almost this piece almost feels like it's the same material as right here. Almost. I would change that up a bit. But I think your best stuff is right here. I think this is absolutely a really great render. See a bit of your low poly there. Cha-ching. Really nice stuff. What headset you got? I got the Steel Series Arctis Pro S something. Oh man, tired today. Aurelio, thank you for the follow, dude. And Neos, thank you for the follow as well. Appreciate it. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Hex Insanity is always dropping a banger on these challenges. And now let's go to the. I don't think I have much else. I think I kind of explained just about everything I like. What was the try count? What was the try count on this? It tries 20 pixels. Nice. Good job. Good stuff. This was sorry, I don't 11 4 6 6 11K tries. 11.5K tries. Very cool. All right. We're gonna move on. This is the last submission that we have from Fader. Let's look at the model. I think you got really clean density. I like that. That's really nice. See you have 3 edges in here. You could probably reduce that to just like here, leave it flat, and here. We don't need this edge in the middle. See, you've got the optimization here. I like it. I like the vision. You've got the. I like that. Simple, easy to do. Probably a bit too dense on this ring, but pretty snazzy. Pretty snazzy. For a portfolio piece, I'd probably do a bit less than this, probably. Um, I like this was pretty creative. You modeled in um, the factory defects on this one. I like that. That's really really creative. That's pretty cool. Bonus points for that. It's awesome. That's funny. It almost looks like you took like this side, split it in half, and then just shifted it upwards. Like grabbed the verts and just like moved it up on accident. It's pretty funny. Holding her, yeah. That's awesome. Very nice. I like that you beveled this edge. It might be a bit much. What's your try count? 13.4K tries. All right. I can't tell if this is 2 or 3 edges around. I think it's 2, which is good. I think 2 is ideal. I haven't seen one with this detail. Oh, is it this that you're following? Not sure if this is accurate to the reference that we're following. Let's look at the UVs. You've got good padding, very nice padding. Maybe even a bit too much padding. That's pretty good. That's good. Solid UVs. Solid UVs. I would say probably just scale up these shells, fill up a bit more of these gaps in here. Same here, here. Gaps right here. Probably put one of these circles right in here, another one right here. Fill in some of these gaps a bit more, I think. Adjust my chair. I was like rolling the wrong way. The low poly's good. I don't have much to say about it. It's I like the little bent you got there. Much. Yeah, I don't have see your density matching this. It looks like you're a little. I can't really tell if this is matching the same density, but it's close enough to where it looks like they match. That's very nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at the black. Cool. I'd like to see more contrast. You're kind of matching the reference, but I think a bit more dirt in some areas. Like even if you just had like this section be like caked in dirt here, would be pretty cool. I think that'd be pretty cool. Disassembled looks nice. Maybe a bit more breakup in this dirt curvature stuff going on. You've got the nice pitting going on. Yeah, it just looks so goofy. I like it. I can tell you've got kind of a curvature generator going on here. It's not ideal. I think overall, I think the rendering is just a bit weak. Like it's really dark in some areas, and I think we're not quite hitting the mark when it comes to lighting. I think I would have liked to see this wear more blended in a bit. Like it's just it kind of just like sticks to this edge here. I would have liked to see some of it like come down here and damage this area, damage some of here. Like you've got some right here. I think this is good. I think this right here is good. I'd like to see some of that down here as well. Also, this like weld in here should be pretty damaged a bit more, I think, based on these references. Same with these edges. It just feels a bit too clean compared to this edge right here that looks like it got absolutely abused, where this edge up here is like pretty clean, I think. I see you've got the red hues in there. That's nice. I like that. That's cool. I think the metal feels a bit flat. So you've got the bent in there. That's cool. Very nice. I think the brass almost feels kind of too clean, almost. It's too new, too pristine. like to get a good view of that if we could. Unfortunately, your lighting is really only highlighting like this area right here. So like this area here looks really flat. And I'd like to see more detailing here, you know? I'd like to see more detailing here. Like it feels like every render you have is only highlighting one area of your model. Like this and then the spoon. I will say the spoon feels a bit uniform in the way that you've got the Perlin height noise. Got kind of this splotchy blue rust oxidize effect going on. This right here feels cool, I think. I'm trying to think what I should say. I think overall maybe some more variety in some of these chipping stamp things. Like it feels the same method here was used here, which is fine, but like you don't really see that. You see like this large dented up stuff, some other dented shapes, some of those shapes. Here it kind of feels like it's all just kind of the same, almost like a cells 2 fill in Painter. Maybe that could be broken up a bit more. Take a look at the blue. Plus 500 social credit for the TWR sticker. Nicely done. Um, black and white spots. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. I think I'd like to see like more variation in the size of these things. That'd be cool. Got some larger areas, some smaller areas, but I think like some big divots. Some big divots. Like this one right here. Overall, I don't think the blue is finished. It just doesn't have the same attention to detail that the um, I think the grenade has. The blue doesn't quite feel right, and I think it's because it's just the diffuse. I think is really flat. Just kind of feels like it's all the same blue everywhere. You've got the wear that's either there or it's not. You know, it's just kind of like a subtract layer with a levels on it. I feel like you've got wear in the key areas, which is nice. Feels almost too clean. Like for the type of chipping wear that it has, it still just feels too clean. Um, yeah, just more diffuse breakup, more gloss. Doesn't really feel like there's much going on in the gloss. Uh, the stamp or the stencil feels kind of how I feel about it. It's a little like on the nose. Like military stencil is like kind of an okay choice for the font. I mean, I would have gone with something a little different. Um, it feels too blurry on the edges. I think you're going for like a spray painted effect, but it's not really reading right. Little slope blurry. Yeah, yeah, slope blur. Yeah, you're right. Um, oh, oh, thank you for the prime, dude. I appreciate that. Thank you. Don't forget to sub with Twitch Prime. I will say one thing. The red stripe, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to get it to read imperfect, but it's like too imperfect. It's just too much. Like if I was I don't know how to paint for shit. Like if I was painting this thing, I would definitely be able to not do this with a paintbrush. Um, like I would definitely be able to get a more straight line whilst also having like this cool damage like um later, and it's either there or it's not. Still, there's no like places where the paint was not applied. Like, you know, when you're painting and like the edges are globbed up, you know, like the middle is like you get kind of less paint in the middle. That's what I'm talking about. And then pretty sure I like this type of thing because if you're spray painting the spoon, wouldn't the rest of the grenade get spray painted too? Because you can't. Well, I mean, I guess it's a practice grenade, but I guess you could disassemble it because since it's a dummy grenade, but like. Yeah, not really digging it. It's like if you had done this and then like had like a much bigger. Just imagine a spray paint can, right? Spray paint can, you hold it right here. It's gonna spray like a large spray. So I would have liked to see this spray area needs to be like splattering up here too, and then it gets like more solid down here, which is what you have, but it needs to be a lot bigger, considering the scale of this thing. So I think the blue needs a bit of work. I can see what you're trying to do with the paint globbed on there, but this just really isn't that great. I don't like it. It's also so soft to the point, like so micro to the point where I can't see the individual spray paints dots, which is something that I should be able to see. Also, I don't really like the red color here. It's too dark. It's like maroon. I like to see this color. This color looks better. Uh, this render's pretty good. Like right here looks real nice. I like that. I just think a bit more attention to detail could have gone into some of these edges and probably the spoon. Okay. I think that's about all I got. I think that's about it. So you did it in strips. That's nice. I think that's about all I got. So Shader, I know you're in chat. If you want me to comment on anything else, let me know. I may have missed some things. Your high poly's nice and soft. Maybe you probably could have gone even. I think you're fine. Cool, cool. Drink along there, yeah. Like the sticker. What you could do for the sticker, set the height to normal, and then you'll take out some of this if you wanted to. Right now it's like a really thin sticker, but so kind of hollow effect too. See that it's got the metallic gloss to it. I like that. Cool stuff. Yeah, pretty cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. You guys got anything else to add before I go into the judging? It's gonna be a tough one. Did you go? We'll see. We'll see. Is the next challenge? Soon. Probably next year sometime. Uh, very busy around the holidays, hanging out with friends and stuff. So it'll be family time, you know. So what's your try count on this movie? What's your 18448 tries? Pretty good. Pretty good try count. Uh, I got nothing else. So learn to keep low from last time. What do you mean by that? PWR cheers, dude. Best emoji. All right. So I think we all know, but entity is probably this is the number one. This is the winner, right? This thing is like it's fun to look at. Like it's very rare that you find like game art and props. It's like fun to look at, you know. The 20K for the book. Oh, I see what you. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, you did really good on that. This thing is just. I don't even know if Cohen will have feedback for this. We'll see, but congratulations, entity. Thank you for entering. This is just. If I don't see this on ArtStation like the next 24 hours, I'm like. Also, I was planning on starting something new. When we do a challenge, I'd like to post the winner on my Twitter too. That'd be cool. I think that'd be really nice. It's like a TWR official Twitter post, you know. However, I don't want to make a new Twitter account. I'd rather just be my own. But dude, I don't know how you did it, man. Amazing, good stuff, man. Congratulations to Entity Heart. Go on number two. All right, I gotta get a refresher here. See what we're looking at. Asgard did a really nice job. Very nice. Unfortunately, he did not update his windows, so that's just off the tip. Like I can grab it from the screen exactly. That's just beautiful. Great UVs. I don't think I had the only issue I had with this one was the mirror line down the center of the spoon. Hex Insanity had a very good submission as well. Excuse me. Shader, pretty good. Dima, I forgot about Dimas. Damn, this one's hard. I'm not gonna lie. This one's hard. This one's really hard. Um, the thing about this one is I think the blue is like weaker than these these two. I feel like the blue here is stronger than the blue here. So for that reason, this one has some. Dude, this one. I mean, this is a portfolio piece as well. This thing is just so nice. You get it for that KFC bucket. The KFC bucket is extra points. This thing is awesome. This is so funny. I love it. Um, oh shit. I'm on Steam. Sorry, Mark. Shut down. There we go. Oops. Okay. Okay. Man, this one's awesome. So it was this one. Already got that one. I think it's a tie between these three. Oh shit! What did I just do? Move along. Okay. We have to pick two winners from here. Didn't really like the bolt that Dima did here. I like the brass. It feels too noisy. Dude, I seriously can't decide. Okay. Okay. Asgard, I think you definitely win the second place prize. This thing is awesome. The renders sweet. Asgard, this is the second place prize. Love it. Good job, dude. Really nicely done. You're about to be $20 Steam richer. Very nicely done. Coin toss? Nah, I don't want to do a coin toss. What do we do? Here, you know what? I'm gonna bring this down to a vote because I seriously can't decide. Who better? Uh, Dima or Hex? Hex. Wait. I'm gonna put a poll open for. We'll see how this works. Dima and Hex. 3 minutes. We'll do a. Oh, I'll do 2 minutes. All right. There's a poll going. I'm gonna let you guys decide the third place prize. I think these are both kind of equal. I'm gonna turn off my paint layer so you guys can see. Okay, we got some votes coming in. Cool, cool. Turn this shit off. Dima stuck to reference more. True? Yeah, that is true. That is something to consider. It's literally 50-50. Okay. Dima's pulling ahead. By the way, the third place prize is a $5 Steam gift card. You can buy a nice Safari Mesh AK for Counter-Strike. Hex Insanity's is pretty good, though. That's really tough. How much time is left? It's 6-6. It's tied. I need to learn how to render proper. Where's Gator? I think for you, lose the background, lose the floor, and just practice doing lighting when it's floating. I think that would help you out. You're trying to set up like some really complicated scenes. I would just stick to basic stuff. It's tied. The poll is tied. Dude, that's so. All right, all right, all right. Tiebreaker. What could the tiebreaker be? Like that was my tiebreaker. Uh, Someone voted as a tie just to mess with me. That's a good point. Yeah, we could go to like UVs. These UVs are, I think, really nice. Roast each other for the win in voice channel. Do it in the voice channel. All right. I'm gonna call an audible. I'm gonna give it to Hex Insanity. He's just got I think the better blue version. The black version is really interesting to look at. It's got more variation. Um, Still, just not really a fan of this version, but it'd be kind of messed up of me to switch. So I think I can't decide. I'm giving you both third place. I can't do it. I seriously like they're so equal in my mind. I'm giving you both third place. First time in TWR history, I'm giving you both third place. Red, hello. Layer, hello. I'd like to paint. Oh, I'm on the eraser. I'm giving you both third place. I can't decide. You both get a $5 Steam gift card. Yeah, I'm happy with that choice. I'm happy with that. The KFC bucket, very creative, very funny. Good ending. But that'll do it. That'll do it. That is the good ending. This model was pretty seemed simple, then you started modeling it, and it's like, oh shit. It's a little tricky. A lot of interesting stuff you may have never textured before, like some of this divots and stuff like that. This one kind of looks like it belongs in the DayZ universe. The DayZ universe. Kind of kicks my own ass in the water. I feel that. So many great submissions. Yeah, this one was really great. So thank you guys to all who submitted. Unfortunately, it is a torrential monsoon outside, and every single grocery store I went to pick up Steam gift cards was completely sold out. So I'll have to add you all on Steam for the second and third place winners. I'll add you on Steam, and then I'll send you your gift cards there. There'll be a 3-day trade hold, if you will. So we have to be friends for 3 days before I can send you a Steam gift card. Unfortunately, that's kind of the way it has to go. So, dude, that's about it. I want to look at this one again. Ah, no. You get what's on their portfolio like now. So nice. This is one of the best submissions I think we've had for a challenge. Really nice. You're gonna do a high poly stream, remember? I think I did once. Can't you send them the code? When you buy on Steam, it's not like they give you a code. You have to send it to someone on your friends list. The only other way I think of doing it is through G2A.